Hi guys, this is Steve from Marshall Amplification, and I'm here today at the Gear for Music studio to show you our new line of digital guitar amplifiers called CODE. There's a few in the range. We have the CODE50, which is a 25 watt combo, and then this one, which is the CODE50, which is a 50 watt combo, and the CODE100s, which come either as a combo or a head. So let's check it out. Okay, for this first example, I'm going to be showing you a classic Marshall plexi sound. So I'm going to be using the plexi preamp into a British 100 watt power amp, and then that's fed into a 1960X cabinet, which is a 4x12 with greenbacks. So again, that real familiar classic rock sound. Okay, so the CODE has a number of built-in digital effects, but it also has a huge amount of built-in different types of preamp, power amp, cabinet type, all those kind of things. So essentially you can come up with your own custom amp configuration. So the panel itself is pretty straightforward to use. At the bottom, we have our standard amp controls, but along the top, we have what represents our signal flow, so a typical guitar setup. So the first button is the pre-effects, which would be effects such as wah-wahs, compressors, overdrive pedals. Then that moves into the preamp type. Then we have modulation effects, delay effects, reverb effects, then the power amp type and cabinet type. And we can turn any of those on or off and edit any parameter we like on the amplifier itself. So it's nice and easy to use. Okay, for this next example, I'm going to be playing the American clean sound. So it's based on a very sort of well-known, famous American combo. But for effect, I've added a reverb and some vintage delay. So let's have a listen. Okay, so another great feature about CODE is the free app that you can download for both Android and iOS, which is called Marshall Gateway, and that's available now. And what this allows you to do is basically edit and store any of the sounds on your device. So the app is nice and easy to use. As we can see on our home screen, it shows us our basic amp features. So we can see what each one of those is set to. And if I want to edit any of those, I literally drag up and down, as you can see, and it changes the value. So again, nice and straightforward. I can also go to the library, which basically gives me all 100 presets which are in the amplifier, and I can select any of those by simply tapping on them. So then, if I want to edit anything, so I can click on amp, for example, and it gives me my preamp type, power amp type, and cabinet type. And again, if I want to select any of those, I simply drag the finger, and it gives me all the options there. The effects work exactly the same way. So this shows me my 4 effects blocks. And basically, if they're grey, they're not in use, they're bypassed. But if I want to turn them on, I simply tap on them, and then they're activated. Okay, if I want to edit any of the effects, I simply press, and then it gives me more options there. So I've got my 4 parameters for the reverb. And again, on the top, I've got my different reverb types, which I can select from. What's also a very cool feature is the playback. So this allows you to play any of the music which is in your device through the amplifier, and you can basically jam along to your own tracks, and you can still change your sound as you're playing and all that kind of thing. And then finally, in the menu, we have our Bluetooth connection settings, and then the built-in tuner, which also has a number of different tuning options. So we've got standard tunings, open tunings, drop tunings. So there's plenty to choose from. So as you can see, it's nice and easy to use. But the one thing I do want to point out is everything you can do on the app, apart from the playback, you can also do on the amplifier itself. So if you find out that one day your phone's gone missing, you can still control everything on the amp. Okay, so this has been the Code video demo. If you want any more information, please visit the Gear for Music website. I've been Steve Smith from Marshall, and thanks for watching.